Hey guys, this is Toby from GamingPcDealz.com, and I've been building many gaming PCs in the past, and I can tell you that choosing the right hardware components for your gaming PC really makes a huge difference. When you know which components fit well together and which ones to avoid, you can save a lot of money and actually get much more performance out of your gaming PC. This is especially true when you have a $700 budget for your gaming PC, because with this amount of money you have access to many overpriced products that you definitely don't want to buy. However, if you know what components fit well together and which ones you should really buy, then your $700 gaming PC build can be an absolute monster. So if you want to know how to build that kind of gaming PC, then keep on watching, because I'm going to share with you how you can build exactly that kind of powerhouse. Of course, you can find this build and the builds for all other price categories on my homepage. There, I'm updating all the builds regularly, so if you watch this video a few months from now, then you can always go there and you will find the latest builds with the guaranteed best value for money. And before we dive into this week's awesome video, I would like to show appreciation to our community, and therefore I want to shout out the comment and the YouTube channel of the week. Thanks so very much for leaving this awesome comment onto last week's video. Now, if you want to know how you can get featured on next week's video, it's super easy. Just leave a comment under this week's video. But now let's take a look at the components that we want to have in our $700 gaming PC build. In my opinion, the power supply should be the Power 9 system from Be Quiet. It's a solid and very cheap power supply which definitely has enough power for our gaming PC. It also offers DC-DC multi-rail and even an 80+ bronze certification, which is pretty good for the price. And as a case, I would buy the Corsair 175R mid-tower gaming case. I think it looks pretty cool and it's very cheap, even though it includes an RGB fan, 6 customizable RGB LEDs, and it has tempered glass, which I'm personally a fan of. It also has plenty of space for additional fans and all our components. For the flash memory in our $700 gaming PC, we use the very cheap and fast PNY CS900 SSD with 480 GB. With half a terabyte of storage, you have enough space for all the games you want to play. In addition, SSDs are a must-have these days, as they are much faster than ordinary HDDs while still being very cheap. Before we come to the more important components, please leave a like, it really means a lot to me and it helps out my channel tremendously. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you want to get more help and information about how to build gaming PCs and how to save more money while doing it. Now, you probably already know that motherboard, RAM, processor and the graphics card are actually the most important parts of any gaming PC. They make or break the whole system, and if you make sure that you pick the right components, you can really save yourself some money while making sure that you can play all the games you want to play with high settings and beautiful graphics. And with a $700 budget, I would recommend the Ryzen 5 2600 ASR processor. It has 6 cores and up to 3.9 GHz. In benchmark tests, it's on par with an Intel i7-8700, which costs more than 3 times as much. This powerful processor is really outstanding, and in this price category right now, AMD is crushing Intel left and right. So I think this is the best processor for our gaming computer setup. And when it comes to our graphics card, the most important piece of our custom build, I recommend the NVIDIA GeForce 1660 Super. It was released 6 months ago and it's so strong. I mean, it also costs more than $200, but what you get for it is really insane. It's much better than its 1660 base. It has up to 785 MHz, 6GB GDDR6 and more than 150 gigaflops in 64-bit systems. And because it's so young, it has all the latest NVIDIA technology in it and it crushes benchmarks in its price category. The motherboard we use is the MSI B450M Pro VDH Max. With its AM4 socket and high frequency, it provides perfect AMD compatibility and allows the Ryzen processor to shine. It has enough speed to support the graphics card, and it also offers 4 RAM banks, which is good for upgradability, and it has a very strong equipment in general for this price range. For the RAM, I recommend 2 8GB RAM blocks from Corsair. Dual channel is faster than single channel in most applications, therefore I recommend 2 8GB RAM blocks instead of one 16GB RAM block. Also, the high frequency of 3 GHz perfectly supports the Ryzen processor and the graphics card, and 16GB is so much that it will easily last you many years. With this $700 gaming PC, you will really save yourself a lot of money and you will be able to crush many other gaming PCs that cost much more than this. With it, you can play all of the latest games with medium to highest settings. For example, in 1080p and high settings, you can play GTA 5, Fortnite or Overwatch with more than 100 FPS. It's actually really crazy that nowadays PCs in this price category are so powerful, especially because not so long ago one probably had to pay twice as much to get this performance. And the best thing is that you don't only get this performance when playing games, but also when you create or render videos or when you stream, because the Ryzen is also so good at these tasks. However, like always, you can find the links to the components in the description under the video. If you found the video helpful, I'm very happy about your thumbs up or subscription. Also, leave a comment if you have any question or feedback, and check out the other awesome content on the channel. As always, you guys, thanks so very much for watching, and I see you in the next video.